What's up, you guys? It's your boy Miguel giving you your daily dose of radiation. In today's video, we are covering how much overtime opportunity is there working in the X-ray tech field. And so to give you context, I am a night shift X-ray tech. I've been doing it for about 4 years. I work at a trauma 3 ER. So I would say overtime, from the research I've gathered from both my place, from other techs, from some of the, as I call them, old head techs, one of the more veteran techs, if you will, as far as overtime goes. And even my manager, who just recently became like the big dog, so he was just a regular tech and then he went into the higher arc position. He gave me some details that usually you don't get to know much, but typically in most places, they don't want you to have overtime. So the way they handle, even the big man said, they want the regular people to work their regular, 40 hours or whatever they do to do their job. So if someone goes on vacation or someone misses out, you have the person on call to cover that. And then we have the PRNs who are supposed to come in and pick up for a little bit, like they get paid a little bit more, but they don't have benefits and stuff. So they will mitigate the cost for the overall company or whatever. So typically the company wants the PRNs to pick up all the overtime, whatever. And then whatever doesn't get fall into that, they will usually allow us to pick up those shifts as full-time employees to get overtime, which is time and a half pay. So depending on how ambitious your PRNs are, and then depending on your staffing and how much, I would say, PTO and vacation and the time of year and staffing, it will kind of vary. There's literally been times where I've been told from the older people that they would not get any overtime at all for certain periods when they're especially well staffed and their PRNs are very ambitious and want to work a lot. There was no overtime, which is good and bad, whichever way you see it. If there is no overtime, so everything kind of gets covered, so you don't have to worry about being called in most of the time. I personally am young. I always like to work overtime because I feel like there's no bad side of having more money and making more money. If I work overtime, there's a good amount of pay, especially in this economy, there's always a cushion of okay, maybe during the winter season, my kids get sick, I can't work as much. So during the summer, a lot of people take on vacations, so I take the opportunity to jump in. Currently at my place, we're down a few techs and there is a lot of overtime, a lot. Right now, if I wanted to at my hospital, which I can't because of the little kids in the back, I could literally pull 30 days straight of just night shift, run it because there's an opposite position available, which hypothetically, I did the money, that's a lot of money. That's almost sitting with all the overtime and shift ifs, if you would have run 30 days straight nighttime the whole month, you're looking at about 9,000 or almost close to 10,000, which is wild. Just for a regular, you don't even, just for regular, not even a high trauma place. That's a lot of money. But once again, that's a lot of work on your body. If you're willing to do that and your job allows it. Some places don't allow you to work that many days because of ethical reasons, and the stuff gets kind of muddy. Because I've even asked my manager, the most I've ever ran was 26 nights. And even he was yo, you had to kind of back off because the HR people are getting kind of concerned. Because technically for your health and well-being and mental or whatever they say, they don't want that. And because they had to pay me a bunch of money to pick up those shifts, that too. I think it's mainly because they don't want to pay me. But I'm in that position currently, and I'm taking full advantage of it to try to make as much money as I can. Obviously, some people don't like to do that. But I never see it, especially if you're young and you're ambitious and you still like you're still trying to like level up in your field, and like this is where you're at currently, I feel like in our there's always been overtime where I've been. Now depending on the shift, typically there's only 4 positions of night shift on ours, 2 on mine, 2 on the opposite. So as far as that many opportunities to night shift, not that many, because usually I don't really take off and the other tech only takes off once a year. So like as far as opportunities for the night shift is a little bit less. Now daytime we have a little bit more, but daytime you have like different shifts that are available depending. A lot of the more veteran Monday through Friday shifts are usually what comes like available as far as overtime goes, because of the more veteran techs who work, you know, the Monday through Friday, the 8 to 4:30 or 8 to 5 shift that is typically available. Now, as far as like the pay difference, once again, all this comes like there's basic overtime. For those who do not know, it's time and a half. Depending on the shift, like if you work the afternoon, there's like different shift diffs. If you work the night shift, has the highest level of shift diff, which at our place is like $3 and some change extra. And then I think the afternoon one is like $2. And essentially, like if you were to work a 12-hour night shift at my place with overtime during the week, probably you're going to be sitting about like $500 extra just for that one night, close-ish. It all depends on taxes and a bunch of those things. To me, an extra $500 or close to $500, that's like a pretty good amount of money just for like one extra shift. And typically, night shift, I know it has a higher toll on your body, but it's not bad. I'm used to working night shift. So to me, it is always worth it to pick up those, especially since I'm young. I could see how other people would be like, oh, night shift, I don't want to know. I know it's not for everyone. Some people like will drag through the shift and like it'll struggle. It's fine. There's always day shift, especially at my place. There's a lot of opportunities because like we have like the main hospital, and then you have a mini version of the ER, like a smaller version of it, just like across town, like maybe 5 minutes from the main hospital. And then from there we have where they do all the ortho, all the ortho C-arm and all that stuff. So there's another clinic over there, so that's available. And then occasionally during summertime, the other versions of our hospitals that are like located in the other cities, maybe 10, 15, I think the farthest is like 25-minute commute. They become desperate sometimes during the summer, usually during the summertime for holidays, so they will have shifts available, which where we work at, you get compensated from like your hospital, gas, toll to wherever you go. Depending on which place you go, you get compensated for those. Some places do, some places don't. But it's a good amount of money, I would say. You could easily, like if you're curious, what's the most amount of money you've ever seen on a check here at my place? I want to say it was, I think it was like 4,800 for almost, it was a couple $100 shy from $5,000 for like one paycheck, for which is we get paid every other week. So like that's, I would say, I mean obviously it was like a lot, I worked a lot of overtime, but like that's for most people that you're just used to your regular tiny check, and then you have a check like that come in, like that can change a bunch of things in your life, both from like upgrading or maybe being able to take your family out, or being able to like maybe save for something better, or like maybe using that money to pay for education, for other medical bills. I would say be willing to sacrifice your 20s and your younger age while you can, either to level up or just stack up your money if like this is the farthest you can make it. And like you probably, I mean, you're not gonna get rich, but you can make a good amount of money. But anyways, cutting back to the video, there's always here or there, there's always more opportunities during the holidays and during the summer times. There's more OT availability. I know some places are a little bit different, a little bit more stricter, because I know from the nursing spec, my lady's a nurse, they did not want them to have overtime. They were like very on top of it, very mitigated. They didn't want none of it unless it was like forced. And even if you were kind of forced to work overtime, they would, like, towards the end of the week, they would make you leave early, and so they would negate the overtime. It gets kind of shady, but I think it's worth it. I'm here just to educate y'all and give you knowledge of the X-ray field, because I feel like no one else is doing it. And I've always been curious when I was a student or when I was outside of the medical world what it would be like to inform y'all. And I'm here, and I'll be posting literally videos every single day, just of random aspects of the field of radiology, giving y'all the knowledge so y'all can take a better gander at what this field is like and if you want to do it. Yes, been your boy Miguel. See you on the next one.